Moving along with our PFF position rankings, it's time for the running backs. And Mike, as we have been doing, breaking down our rankings based off our draft board, we like to separate by round. So let's get into our first round running backs. Where are they?
They are non-existent, Steve. There's not a single first round back in this class. There usually isn't, to be honest. I think, do not advocate drafting a running back in the first round. Josh Jacobs, borderline second round, we'd say at this point, but still, I think we have him as a third rounder on top of as our big board falls here.
Yeah, we have him around number 60 on our draft board. The key here, the difference between 1 through 15, while there's a difference in skill, it might not show up in production. But let's break down what those skill differences are. The reason why Josh Jacobs is number 1 is because of that all-around ability. If you are going to be a productive running back at the next level, have to do something in the pass game to add value. He does that. He's got pretty good receiving skills.
Yeah, I go back to the deep ball he caught against Auburn this past season, where he's looking over one shoulder, ball gets thrown, looks over the other shoulder, catches it in stride. You don't see that from wide receivers in this class who are rumored to be going in the first few rounds. Josh Jacobs does that at the running back position, can run legitimate wide receiver routes, and then he led the nation this past season in terms of attempts that went for first downs or touchdowns. A very productive back despite his yards per carry. Long speed's an issue, not much of a home run hitter, but I think you're getting a solid back in Jacobs with receiving skills. So that's where we have him as 60th player on a big board, something like that.
And then the next guy, David Montgomery, long speed's an issue for him as well, but it almost doesn't matter because he's so productive in that first 10 to 15 yard range. When we talk about doing work outside of the offensive line, it's one of the our favorite things to grade. We use elusive rating, we use missed tackles forced, yards after contact. That all describes David Montgomery.
Yeah, elusive rating, so breaking tackles at the college level is somewhat stable translating to the NFL. You want guys who break more tackles. No one breaks more tackles in the history of our grading system than David Montgomery. He is as elusive as it gets. Again, the yards per carry do not tell the full story for the two guys at the top of our list. He was under 5 the past couple seasons, David Montgomery, yet still in our grading system, one of the most productive backs in college football.
To be fair, we have the cutoff pretty much right around here, right about Miles Sanders as far as these guys might be able to sneak into, in our world, day 2, that back end of the third round for maybe Montgomery or Sanders. What made Sanders special when you compare him? There's some similarities to Saquon Barkley coming out of Penn State.
Yeah, just an all-around talented running back in terms of speed, size, physical ability, balance running the football, has some of the best highlight reel plays of any running back in this class, where he breaks 4 or 5 tackles of a run against Michigan State this past season. Was absurd. He is very good in his own right and almost matched, Saquon Barkley's production there a year after.
All right, let's get through these next couple. Some injury concerns with Bryce Love of Stanford, which I think if we have to
throw the asterisk right here.
If we had to redo the board, we're dropping him down just a little bit.
Well, I mean, we just don't know on his ACL injury at this point. If he comes back fully healthy, the guy you saw back in 2017, he's worth not only this pick, he might be up here with Josh Jacobs or above him. He was a rare home run type of hitter. He might have been a first rounder if he had declared, came back, ankle injury, ACL injury. You don't know what you're going to get after that, so he's obviously going to fall. But a fully healthy Bryce Love, I mean, he is as explosive as any back in this class.
Yeah, these guys are a lot different than, say, Jacobs and Montgomery, because they are the breakaway speed type of guys. And I feel like, we always talk about running backs needing that complementary piece. You look at Darrell Henderson, if he's that final piece to an offense where you can get him in space a little bit more and the receivers, tight ends are getting a little bit more attention, Henderson can be a big play threat and really dangerous to the next level.
Yeah, Henderson, I think he almost exclusively has to go to an outside zone type of team. He is not a between the tackles sort of churner of the football. He is a home run hitter. He has great vision on wide runs of when to cut upfield, when to turn and go. Home run hitter in his own right there at Memphis. But like I said, he's just not a complete all-around running back like some of these guys up in that first tier.
Beyond Henderson, I want to highlight Devin Singletary. He was right up there with David Montgomery as far as making guys miss. He's just a little bit smaller, maybe not as athletic as Montgomery, but a guy to watch for. Anybody else in the 7 to 15 range that just stands out to you, Mike, that has a valuable skill set for the NFL?
Well, I like Divine Ozigbo and Darwin Thompson. I think both tick boxes in terms of size, strength, and athleticism, and then production in the PFF grading system. Divine Ozigbo, 90-plus grade this past season. Darwin Thompson, just about at that level as well out of Utah State. So both of them have the athleticism, have the grading prowess to where I think a lot of people might be lower on these guys, but we say, they're confident they can step in day one type of starter running backs.
I want to highlight Jordan Scarlett here from Florida at number 10. I just think he runs hard, and he's one of those guys, kind of like a Mark Ingram type, where he might not get as much out of the pass game, but he'll kind of maximize what you're going to get on the ground.
Yes.
And again, this is the point here. If you miss out on one of these guys and you get a Scarlett to have that 1 to 2 down running back, then he's a guy that could be productive behind the right offensive line. So there you have it. It's our top 15 running backs. You got the full list over at profootballfocus.com. And of course, details on all 15 of these guys in the PFF Draft Guide, all part of your PFF Edge and Elite package.